Okay, you're listening to live broadcast here, a new radio channel blog at my YouTube channel has actually four different posts and four different channels, one under one name. So it's called the Field Report, and we're going to be back after this. We're going to go into the first entry of the daily law, and we'll discuss my view on conduct and rules on privacy and other concerns that probably you might want to be, maybe want to engage in the discussion here at our table. We'll be back after this. What you're hearing is our local broadcast here in Butler, Pennsylvania. And why it's important here is not just my issues, probably everyone I know. My view, having a glass of water and sitting down and talking. It's nice to sit down and have a nice talk. Uh huh. Some of us haven't even had a chance to really sit down and think. Uh huh. It's been that kind of hectic. So, I mean, I welcome anyone who would like to engage on the discussion, some of the things like even something as simple as peanut butter and issues on conduct and behavior. There's something I think is not just my issue, I think it's an issue for everybody. How to get around and travel, how to, the difficulties we were facing. Still, uh-huh. So having our own page in the view versus my view, there's obviously a larger panel there. So when I invite something onto my table, I guess there's some things that I would like to engage on. But as a response of the view, there's a lot of people that don't agree with some of the things that are going on and what's being pushed in the media. There's always been a lot of this verbiage, and I see the recent topic on R. Kelly. And I'm not against everybody that has a different point of view. I'm just saying that there's things that are pushed in the media that is progressive and it pushes an agenda, and I think a lot of people feel that way. I think in fact, there's only a handful of us that may disagree on something that when you see over a period of your life how much is push, and forced into your homes and topics that are forced on your table. I think it comes down to conduct and privacy and listening to the recent post on R. Kelly and some of the issues that, I wrote a letter to Sports Illustrated today, and I think the conduct issues are obviously important, not just to me, but to anyone who's going to be joining me on this discussion. Now, not everything's meant to broadcast, of course, but I can tell you right now, just wanting to go down to Washington, D.C. to the pro-life rally, I think anyone who's ever gone to Washington, D.C., say you come away with a different experience. the topic itself, while controversial, if you go down there, it does change your mind about a lot of things. And I think if you really do take the time to go down to Washington, D.C., go to Washington Mall, and experience what some of us experience on issues that are presently the current events topics, um, then I think obviously you'll care about the topics that matter to some of us at the real. Listen, on my agenda, this is my table, and this is what matters to me at my home. And if I invite you into my home, you have to listen to what we have to say. This is my home, and you're a guest at my show. This is my view, this is my table, and I will say what's right. In my home, we serve the Lord. And how the Lord wants us to live our lives is the conduct we live by. Yeah, there's a code of conduct, kids. When you're of a royal priesthood, royalty is royalty, kids. And that's the truth. That there's a conduct and there's um, things that I think are appropriate and not appropriate for kids, no matter who you are. And there are children who've confronted a lot of issues from medical care to necessities. I mean, listen to our friends on the other pond, on the other side of the pond. I think there's a lot of things, and listen to Nigel Farage on Brexit. I think you guys would be really surprised about what's going on in London and what goes on here in our neighborhoods. And after what happened in Squirrel Hill, I think we have a lot to say. So you're welcome to join us here at the table at My View and Daily Log and much more. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back after this. for my view, and I have a couple guests that I'd like to schedule in. And I want to share with you guys. First started out here in Butler, to have a talk show. We have a summer program called Portugal. It's just having fun, sitting outside talking. And of course, during the winter months like this, it's called My View, where you can have a personal opinion and not be chastised for it and not be criticized. And it's called Court Public Opinion because here, when I say opinions, I don't mean like criticize. I think there's too much criticism and it sets people off. In fact, that's why I have it, my view. There's way too much criticism going around that it turns people off. And it's the reason why people are turned off by what's going on in the media. And there are other things to do, like going snowshoeing. There's other things we like to do. Up here, up north, if you haven't been up here, it's a relatively country, quiet city community. There's a lot of drug issues, there's a lot of problems in our community. So having a talk show here elevates us in a little different light, especially because so many of our friends or family are coping with struggle in this community. And it's and this is a community-oriented program, so please know that. We're on YouTube here, and I have a very small audience, and it's about 15, maybe up to 300 listeners, depending on what broadcast. We have our YouTube channel, and we have a Twitter page and Facebook page. There are several things that I'm trying to get together to get a rotation together to start a website called We Are Family Radio. And depending on how things go, I've written letters to other I guess I want to say YouTube channel host, and one is Coach Dave, and another one is Pastor Paul Bagley, who I had the opportunity to both meet on in Orlando for a prophecy conference. So I get to meet a lot of nice people out there. Being as I forced myself out there a little bit, it taught me a little bit about what, kind of going out of the box, more or less, learning about more people, learning about medical care. If you would have met me in 2007, I was pretty set in my ways. I was not, and I'm still very set in my ways. I'm not the kind of person that really goes out of my way much. It forced me to get to know a lot of things, people, and I'm not the kind of person that likes to be forced into a situation any more than anybody else. It's offered me one thing is that, honestly, there's a place at my table for anyone who's comfortable discussing things at their own leisure, of course, and not. And there's a lot of things, but I leave that space open for somebody who would feel comfortable wanting to come to the table with their concerns or ideas. And I ask you ahead of time, please let me know if you would like to discuss something privately or if you want to be on air. I started my view because I realized there's a lot more stuff out there going on. And it's really the intimacy issues. It's a sensitivity to the things that are going on around us. I'm very sensitive to what's going on to people around me, especially when it involves children of abuse or coming from a broken home. And anyone who knows anything about me coming from a broken home, like some of us. So those issues here, more, and we discuss that. I want to tell you about, first of all, how this outreach really does work. It's a mission. We have been working with Shepherd's Heart and Huntersville since 2002, and mission work is by no stretch everything from immediate emergency care to Mercy Hospital to all the children's hospital programs that we've been basically growing up with. Most of us have to get medical care and need that medical care, and who better knows that topic than Renee from Fox News, who has reported on the healthcare needs. Now I have also talked to them several times on issues about medical marijuana. And if you haven't had a chance to talk to some of the hosts, if you haven't got a chance to meet them, I've also got to listen to her talk at she had a great, and I mean fantastic speech over called the Ozarks. So there's a lot to say about what you hear out there, and there's things that you probably want to hear more. So we're going to take a break here at my view, but we're going to pick up right with the American Red Cross and some things that are happening here regionally. And since the recovery rebounded from the last recent crisis here in our Virginia, and there was a lot of electrical storms and much more discussion about recovery on this topics after this.
What is your teenager doing this weekend? I'm District Attorney Rich Golding with a message about drug and alcohol abuse. Each year, students are exposed to new people and experiences. Opportunities present for them to be influenced to experiment with drugs or alcohol. Communication and knowledge about the effects of drugs and alcohol have many misconceptions in the minds of teens. Families think it can't happen to them, but it can. Talk and ask questions. What teens don't know can hurt them for a very long time. For more information, call 724-284-5114.
Just when you thought you had your best deal, it's Troy, the deal-making man. The deal-making man assures you have your absolute best deal on every new and used Troy Allen Chevrolet Buick and GMC. The deal-making mugs are here. Get yours now and receive an additional $200 off your next deal. At Troy Allen, we're good to the last deal.
The deal-making man saves us thousands.
Meet the real deal-making man today at Troy Allen Chevrolet Buick and GMC in Slippery Rock.
We're back here for my view. My stepdad is the lead singer, was the lead singer of the Marcells. I might even have an opportunity to have some people do maybe a live broadcast on our patio. I created an environment so that we would have a small little talk show where we can have a dinner, coffee. It's called Coffee and News, and there's much more up next. I'll show you the patio, show you around here for my view after this. It's a comfortable setting, so hopefully you'll enjoy this audio experience much more here at Porchville and at My View. Daily log and much more coming up next. Much more up next after this, and breaking for our next broadcast until notification. Right now, after this, our next broadcast.
the flavor, stir carefully through the day. See how the flavors stay. These are the dreams you will savor with His blessings from above. Serve with generous love. One man, one wife, one love, through life, man, made a live. The classic hits play here, 680 AM, WISR.
podcast. Now, we start out, me, my brother, and I have been working on this idea. It's like, I have to tell you guys, to have a screen and to have a clean room, to not have clutter. If you would saw our dining table when we were little, we had this room called the living room, and I have to tell you, I love the fact that when you look back at the things that some of us have been through when we're kids, to have had the single heater, to have my cousin, Reba, Becky, and Shauna, and some of all my other friends growing up. If anybody knows some of our struggles, like open house, some of this we love here in Pittsburgh, and this greater Pittsburgh region is growing up here in Pittsburgh. And when you grow up in Pittsburgh since you're a little kid, there are things in Pittsburgh that a lot of people don't hear about. Like we've heard people misrepresent our city a long time. And I'm here to say I'm so proud of the city of Pittsburgh and our greater Pittsburgh region for several reasons. Because most of us who grew up here in Pittsburgh took a bus back and forth to downtown Pittsburgh. We're on the trolleys, the history of Pittsburgh, and the stories that you have to hear about growing up in Pittsburgh. Like, you know, Dagley, one of the things I love about growing up and going to Oakland. In fact, when I went with my mom to the grocery store or shopping down at Kroger's or down the south side, one of the things I loved about, family time is being able to do things as a family. And going to Kaufman's was a big deal, especially if you've ever been on the bus downtown Pittsburgh. And my mom being, an avid, let's just say she knows a lot more about MAC makeup than most people do because she does go down to see Simon. And, now that Macy's is here, it has been a lot different than back here and getting acquainted with friends and family. So to have my view and to have a topic and to care about the issues that go on here in the Pittsburgh region, you can just talk to the residents who have been here most of their lives, all their lives, and know firsthand the concerns that go on in our neighborhood, from the block parent program to, open house when I was at Hillsdale Elementary, or growing up in Mount Lebanon and Castle Shannon, like the things that matter to us, from taking the trolley from Castle Shannon to Dormont to downtown through, different parts of Pittsburgh. One of the things I love about our city is the fact that there's so much rich history that makes Pittsburgh very special. From the Duquesne Incline to going over to the Hot Metal Bridge. I mean, there's so much that Pittsburgh has to offer. And if you are from out of town, you respectfully know that things here in Pittsburgh have been like this most of our lives. And I appreciate that you respect our history and respect our people. When you come to our city, that you're a guest here. You're a guest in the city of Pittsburgh. And one of the things about entertainment and business in Pittsburgh is that there are high standards here. We work very hard since we have all been struggling. My family, my uncle, especially my uncle, my brothers, and a lot of the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into struggling to packing trucks, to cleaning, scrubbing floors, and anyone that knows my boyfriends and some of my friends growing up, they were mopping, basically like roofs just to make ends meet to get through college. And I have to tell you how much I respect not just my ex-boyfriend, but their family and their dedication to others. There are so many people that have done great things in the city of Pittsburgh and throughout this region that honestly, the list is so long. There are so many great kids, fantastic programs, like Children's Miracle Network, UPMC, all of the people that go out of their way to just even put a quarter into a basket. I mean, I see the generosity every day, and sometimes in big ways and small ways. So your generous support to these programs means so much. To Bundle Up Projects, to all these other programs, I'm so grateful to all of you who dedicate your time, your energy to help others. It is noticeable, too. Those little acts of kindness, like opening the door for somebody, that means a lot to somebody. A smile. In Pittsburgh, we work very hard. After the synagogue shooting, to me, I think that it is very rare that we have ever violence of that kind, especially in Squirrel Hill. If anybody's ever gone to Minions or gone down to Pelmy Mines, something I love to do with my family is take my family to places, especially when we have the money and time to do that, is take the kids down and see things and go to the art exhibits in PPG Square and go down to the plaza. So there's so much things that we have to talk about growing up in Pittsburgh, especially Jenkins Arcade. That's a big one. There's a lot of history. When we talk about the history of Pittsburgh, what I tell you about, like, when we were doing like the flash dance, flash mob thing, that was kind of like the idea to have fun with it because obviously Pittsburgh Ballet Company means that much to so many of us. Anybody that's growing up, I wanted to be in Kappa. I wanted to dance with a lot of my friends who are into point and dance. And I grew up primarily in Mount Lebanon, Dormont, and I live here in Butler right now. And primarily what we do here is to work with programs about creative dance movement and Project 3. We have a Project 3 that I've been working on to create a dance movement environment where kids are creative. And there is less structure in this program than there are some. And I just really like the fact that there is some structure in our lives because we got to keep things kind of moving in the right direction, especially when you have a lot of kids. Okay, so we try to keep things pretty regimented. My brother's a principal at Stokesdale Elementary in North Carolina, so he knows all too well, having worked with him as a teacher's aide in 2000 in Georgia. I mean, there's so many great friends. There's so many great people who I've met personally, and their hard work and dedication is noticeable. And I hope you all get a chance to meet and talk to them. I hope we get a chance to have them at my table, at my view, and much more after this. And we're going to get back to the Daylight Lounge shortly. And I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you to those of you who dedicate a little time to one another and people out there who really just need a word of encouragement, support, especially as we are all recovering. So many of us travel and gives us a chance to sit down and relax at my table here on Saturday nights and more after this, following this broadcast and the Midnight Lounge and working on the Second Chance Dance. Hopefully with your support we can get this organized and much more. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back after this.
Today, the Butler Area Public Library closed at noon. South Butler School District knocked boys basketball game.
Okay, getting back here to my view and much more. What I love about going down to the library, if you guys, simple things that we do here, and I don't underestimate how important it is to the library. We'll be back after this for the discussion more.
Butler Area School District has canceled athletic away trips for today. Campus will shut down until Monday morning. Butler Transit Authority will end local service at the end of trip 6. Butler Elms Hoop Shoot has been canceled. Trinity Lutheran Church in Butler, all activities and worship for today canceled. The South Butler Community Library in Saxonburg closed today and will reopen on Tuesday. Mount Chestnut Presbyterian Church, both services and Sunday school for Sunday have been canceled. Center Presbyterian Church in Slippery Rock has canceled their services for Sunday. To send in your closings and cancellations, please email closings@bcrnetwork.com.
Okay, that's more here at Butler Radio. There's school closings, obviously 2 hours delays, and a lot of churches are shut down for tomorrow. So let me tell you about how far dollar went today. For me, just this week I went and bought some of these items, not just these paw holders, how important it is just to have something as simple as a paw holders in the library. And I really, really can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to talk to these girls. If you see some of the items on this table that are for sale, you can go and email her. She makes these items. They're coffee sweaters. And there's girls like this that I hope, by, selling their little trinkets and ideas and work, it's added income for a lot of these young women. And I look forward to talking to those girls and more about their ideas and the work that they do. This is it's a beautiful blend of colors and this coffee mug sweater. And some of my more coffee mug sweaters. I think all you girls can enjoy that on a night like tonight with some coffee and good conversation. More after this here in Butler, and I can't wait to talk about much more. Really good stuff. I love it. to Happy Camper Theater. This is part of my Saturday night, but Happy Camper Theater, as we move into the, you know, obviously hitting on some tough topics, because we got to hit it hard sometimes, but once in a while, especially on a Saturday night, because we really want the Happy Camper Theater. Going into the Happy Camper Theater to the Moonlight Lounge after this. Spaghetti Warehouse where I used to work at. I used to work at Vermont Flatbread and a couple other restaurants. So my sister worked at Tambellini's, and my sisters have worked in have cleaning service. It's called Clean Freaks. You want to stay tuned for more of that. And we're going to be telling you guys when you have a special seating. This is a VIP seating at my house. There's also a green room, so you know this. But like out here, it's obviously wet and rainy, and normally I would have the traffic going, of course, but it's not that kind of weather right now to do that. But out here, it's just comfortable, and feel comfortable talking about just anything pretty much that is within reason. We do cover a lot of topics, but we're limited to just a couple topics, and we will have pretty much an idea what that topic will be before we interview, because it's easier to edit it out before we go on to broadcast. The reason we covered a lot of topics is obviously you do hear a lot of stuff about these topics, so we're not going to ignore it. Just only have so much broadcast time on YouTube, and we have to go according to the rules on YouTube. But heading on some topics here, and taking a warm seat here at our caboose end on the Trump train. This is our talk show, and this inspiration behind the radio show started in Charlotte, and I was on the train. And if anybody's gotten the chance to go on the Amtrak, this is why I haven't worked at Spaghetti Warehouse. They have a bedroom, and I have to tell you, the caboose, and if you've ever been to Spaghetti Warehouse in the Strip District, you'll know that that's kind of ideas to have a talk show and have a lot of fun with it with our friends and some of a lot of the servers I work with. Entertaining is a big part of waiting on tables, so we'll be back after this. So we're going to stay tuned to some of the local news and updates. We do know there's a lot of closings, so if you want to check that out, Blog Talk Radio, or here at the local radio station here at butlerradio.com. Okay, moving into this part of the segment. This is the Moonlight Lounge, and the idea, and forgive me because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to do set design, but I have to put it together. As you know, we've been doing some things. But the idea is to have a Moonlight Lounge. And it's a very small, intimate restaurant. And by the time I get everything together, but I want to give you the demo of what I've been trying to do is have a fine dining area and a coffee area. And it's probably only going to be 5 or 6 tables, but it's intimate for the purpose of, obviously, because it's just me running it. It's a very small little cafe place. Anyway, so all that pressure aside, all that aside, because I enjoy waiting on my customers a lot. And I know that a lot of you guys have ever gotten a chance to have quiet time alone. It's nice to have that lounge experience as we get into and that part of the broadcast. What I want to share with you, though, is that I started a perfume. And that these ideas, you realize how a starving artist is. And anybody knows what a starving artist is like? Our work is very hard. It takes very much a lot out of us to even create some of the things that I purchased at Dollar General and put together flour and the mantle. And I mix and match. I'm just that way too. If you mind, there's a lot of mix and match, but the table itself, the design is to make it simple, classy, enjoyable. And I got these glasses at our local restaurant down the street. It's Deer Creek Winery. Beautiful. And the wine in Backwoods, I think it's Backwoods Raspberry. One of my favorites was Lemon Riesling Sorbet. I recommend it highly, by the way. It's my favorite. And there's other drinks that I have tried that microbrews down the street that they just closed up, and I'm sorry to say that. Deer Creek Winery. You know what I love about some of the wines, especially if you have gone to the wine tasting down in the Strip District, is that there's a communion wine, and I have a couple business cards. In fact, let me just go on to say this. If you are somebody who tries wine, I'm the highest wine sales for Francis Ford Coppola, and some of these wines are absolutely, and I mean absolutely delicious. So if you like wine, that's a big thing here, especially at our table. We have We pair it nicely with some of the menu items, and especially because HelloFresh, I love the pairing. Love it. Yeah. Um, where was I? Okay. Because it does really go well with a white. This more or less goes with. This could go better with a white wine, mainly red, depending. But this is our menu, and this is HelloFresh. If you want to order ahead of time and join us um, in our tablecloth and much more. Uh, and our kids are welcome to join us because they are a big part of what we do. Um, this is the Pennsylvania Liberations. It's customer service. And George Santel Sales and Marketing at 2103 Penn Avenue in Pittsburgh, PA. And you can tell by the card they have they have a wine tasting, and that's where we kind of generate some of the ideas. Also, if you have been following my posts, you know that also uh, we've been very fortunate to meet a mobile cigar company that was up here. And if you get a chance to hang out and some other people that I've met along the way, there's a lot to say. It really needs to load. Okay, sherry balsamic pork chops with garlic, herb, couscous, and roasted broccoli. Also, and by the way, if you go to my coupon code, military N, smoked Gouda pork burgers, yummy, yummy, yummy. I mean, absolutely delicious, guys. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe it is home cooked meal. It's not, believe me. It is restaurant style, and it is served with that type of. First of all, when you order it, you'll know what I mean. When you look at the menu, how exciting this is. So I can't wait to tell you guys more, but we're going to wind it up here. And right after this, here's the Moonlight Lounge. Okay, for my male and female guests at the Midnight Lounge, we're going to just make it real brief and short. I know some of you guys are exhausted and have a lot of work, and there's been a lot of things going on that we're going to cut the broadcast short. I want to leave off with this. We're going to start off is probably we're going to cancel a lot of our programs just because we've been working so hard that honestly to escort everybody to make everybody happy is just not what we're trying to do. Just basically starting at the table with my view. And the reason I'm cutting it down to this one broadcast is because it's a lot of work. And we're taking on way more than we can handle. So that's why I'm going to start back with my view on the daily log. It's just the daily log of what goes on throughout the day. We've taken on a lot more than I think we can handle. And because of making that proper assessment, we stick with just one radio broadcast.